Cum a fost înțeles botezul cu Duhul Sfânt inițial de către primii frați penticostali prin anii 1900 din America. Pentru că până la urmă penticostalismul românesc a venit tot pe influențe din America, prin fratele Budeanu, care l-a contactat pe fratele Bradin, și în felul acesta învățătura despre botezul cu Duhul Sfânt inițială din penticostalismul clasic este cea pe care ne-am însușit-o și noi românii. Parham și Seymour, fondatorii doctrinari ai penticostalismului, cei din care s-a dezvoltat Biserica Penticostală. În 1900 ce se întâmplă? Charles Parham, un lucrător, înființează o școală biblică, 35 de studenți, și încep cursurile prin septembrie și în decembrie Parham merge într-o campanie de evangelizare și le dă o vacanță de iarnă studenților, dar nu-i trimite acasă, ci îi ține la cămin cu următoarea misiune. Până mă întorc, analizați din punct de vedere biblic ce anume evidențiază vorbirea în limbi. Cineva primește vorbirea în limbi. Ce înseamnă asta? Se întoarce Parham și studenții spun: frate Parham, noi am găsit în Scripturi că vorbirea în limbi evidențiază o experiență numită botez cu Duhul Sfânt. Parham a făcut conexiunea aceasta teologică, că vorbirea în limbi este semnul botezului cu Duhul Sfânt. Și pe această idee s-a clădit doctrina bisericilor penticostale. Bisericile penticostale clasice s-au născut din experiență, dar experiența era așezată pe o doctrină clară. Vorbirea în limbi e dovada botezului cu Duhul Sfânt. Botezul cu Duhul Sfânt este inclus sau necesar pentru mântuire. Dar de ce? Doar să ne bazăm pe definițiile lor nu este suficient, dar definițiile lor spun mult, pentru că arată felul cum au gândit penticostalii de la început experiența numită botezul cu Duhul Sfânt. Bătrânii ne spuneau: n-ai Duhul Sfânt, nu ești mântuit. Teologia penticostală este teologie dificilă comparat cu celelalte teologii.
Charles Fox Parham. He is widely regarded to be the father of the American Pentecostal movement. Parham taught that the Old Testament character Job suffered because he was living in sin. Had nothing to do with the sovereignty of God, of course. It was Job's fault. He formed the Bethel Healing School. He had a healing school and school of prophecy. He held that preachers who do not preach, quote, the gospel of healing will face utter condemnation before God. He derided Christians for going to doctors. And quite honestly, he was a complete charlatan and fraud. He had a couple of different scams that he used to raise money, one of which was the Ark of the Covenant scam. He claimed to know the exact location of the Ark of the Covenant, and he got people to give him money to form an expedition to go to the Holy Land to find the Ark of the Covenant. He did this on 2 different occasions, raised a ton of money. He was involved in another scam who claimed to have a device that would turn rocks into gold. And Charles Fox Parham was actually arrested for sodomy, was an absolute scoundrel. Charles Fox Parham also claimed to be Elijah. Charles Fox Parham's students, his Bethel school, was known for speaking in tongues. Charles Fox Parham sent some of his followers, his students, out to China, India, and Japan, believing that once they got there, they would be able to speak in the native tongues of these different people in different nations. Parham says this: the Lord will give us the power of speech to talk to the people of the various nations without having to study them in schools. They just believed that when they got off the boats in whatever country they were in, they would be given that gift of languages and could speak in those native tongues. It was only after these Pentecostals came back in complete failure that they said, oh, wait, sorry, sorry, we got that wrong. Okay. So the gift of tongues is not actually speaking in a known human language that's not known to the one speaking it. It's actually speaking in unintelligible, ecstatic gibberish. Baby talk. Nonsense. And that has remained and is to this day the standard belief, standard practice in all charismatic churches. William Seymour was actually a student of Charles Parham. Charles Parham was a blatant racist. He made William Seymour sit outside of the classroom, and William Seymour had to listen simply through the door. Charles Parham was a scoundrel, he was a heretic, he was a false prophet, he was a racist. William Seymour started a church, and that is when the Azusa Street revival broke out, and people began to speak in tongues. They were shaking, they were gyrating, flopping around on the floor, all kinds of bizarre behavior. But there's about 26 different denominations that trace their origins back to the Azusa Street revival, and William Seymour is revered in the charismatic movement today.